What's up, guys? This is Lisa and Josue on the
Anchor Podcast.
So what are we talking about today?
Paranormal activity.
Paranormal activities?
Yeah.
Ew, I don't want to talk about that. That's freaky, man. It freaks me out just
It
thinking
does.
about it.
Yeah. Me too.
Because there's a lot of evil stuff in this world and a lot of demonic stuff and things that are happening behind the scenes that we don't even know, we can't even comprehend.
I know.
But they do happen.
They do. And I've personally experienced them, so I know they definitely
Scary
exist, and my family has too. So it's not just me.
Okay. So
Yeah.
let's hear about some of your some creepy experiences that you've dealt with.
I have had. So you guys are going to think I'm crazy. And a lot
I
of
already
people
know that, girl.
All right. Yeah. We don't even need to talk about paranormal activity without pointing out the fact that I'm crazy.
I'm crazy too for
I think he's crazier.
I could
but
be,
that's a whole different story.
That's another story.
We'll save that for another time. But yeah, the reason why I'm saying you guys are going to think I'm crazy is because a lot of people don't believe things unless it happens to them.
Yeah, that's right.
And so it's like, I won't believe it till I see it type of deal.
Yeah.
But like I've experienced heavy duty caca in my lifetime. Growing up in my previous house. So the house that I used to live in.
Yeah. Let's hear about it. Let's hear about this craziness. I don't know if you've told me about this before, but I do want to hear about it regardless.
I don't think I've told you about it. Or maybe I have.
Maybe.
Okay, so I used to live in Caledon. And this was like years and years ago. I'm talking like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And we lived in a house brand new. You know, my dad, purchased whatever, the house. Everything was fine.
Yeah.
When we bought the house, there was like nothing on this land.
Okay.
So house was built. We lived there. Everything was okay at the beginning.
Like a blank canvas.
Blank canvas, nothing around, middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So if people know, like you guys know the area of Caledon, it is like country land.
Pure
like,
country.
Pure country. My neighbor was a cow. Like there was like lots of farm animals and stuff, lots of land. Everything was fine at the beginning. Like nothing was kind of weird. And then weird stuff literally started to happen. And I kind of kept it to myself for the longest time because I thought like my family was going to think I was crazy. And it wasn't until like I talked to my brother and my brother's like, holy poo. A lot of shit has been happening to me too. What's been going on? And then we started exchanging stories. It got so bad to the point where I couldn't sleep. And I'm talking like I was in my 20s, like in my early 20s.
Yeah.
And I was not sleeping, like 20, 21 years old, couldn't sleep, needed my mom to sleep with me, like bawling at night because of the stuff that was happening.
Okay, so being a 20-year-old woman needing your mom because you were that scared, things must have been pretty intense.
Yeah, it was absolutely insane. So there was one incident, and this is something that kind of happened to all of us. So me, my mom, my dad, and my brother were in the kitchen preparing dinner. My brother was setting the table. I was standing next to my brother, like at the table. My dad was like sitting down, I think, and my mom was like in the, kitchen area, like near the stove. And we had a chandelier at the time over the table. And we're like talking normal, and out of nowhere, this chandelier starts flinging. Like, I kid you not, like flying back and forth. And we all had like a moment of silence, and we all looked at this thing, and it was like literally flinging. And no one touched it. No one moved it. It's not like, there was wind or anything. Yeah. And even if there was wind, it's heavy. Like it's a chandelier. It's not just going to randomly move.
Whoa.
So that was one experience we all had together, and we were like, what the F is going on?
Yeah, that's pretty intense.
Yeah. Plants in our house would move by themselves, like just like shaking in a corner by itself. And like, I believe in this type of stuff, and I'm open to the idea of you know, that there is paranormal activity, that there are spirits, there are ghosts and stuff, good, bad, I have no idea, but I do believe in it. And same with my mom and my brother. My dad is very skeptical about a lot of things.
Yeah.
So at first, when I had pointed out to him that stuff was happening to me and I was scared, he's like, oh, you know, Lisa, it's in your head. It doesn't exist. Like, stop being a baby, blah, blah, blah. And then when he experienced the chandelier and the plant moving, that's when he's like, holy, like there's stuff happening in our house. Yeah. So that was like one incident. Another incident was we were in the kitchen. My mom was making Mexican food as per usual, typical. And look at how I'm dressed today.
I don't know, but if this ain't Mexican, I don't know what's Mexican.
I don't know
y'all.
either.
This is cray. This
Yeah.
is pure Mexican.
It was just like a theme I wanted to do today.
That's not a bad thing.
He's been kind of making fun of me a little bit.
She looks okay, but like it is very Mexican. You
Yeah.
can totally throw on the music right now.
Which he will.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. But my mom had made like a plate of like tacos for my brother. We're Mexican. I'm half Mexican. Anyways, made this plate of tacos for my brother. I had mine. I was like scarfing them down. My brother had left his on the counter, and my mom is like, Vince, my brother's name's Vince. Vince, go get your tacos. I left them on the counter for you. He goes and he's like, where are they? And my mom's like, I just left them right there. Like, I made them. This plate, I swear to God, went missing.
On.
Tacos and all. We looked
But you're being like, is
everywhere.
This, people want to know, is this honesty or is it like a tall talk?
No, I swear to God,
Yeah.
I'm not lying. You know me. I'm not one to go bullshit.
Yeah, you're not. I do know you. Yeah.
The plate went missing. The tacos and all. It's not like the tacos were left behind. This ghost isn't stupid. He took the tacos with him. The plate was gone. Like, I kid you not. We looked everywhere. My mom had to prepare this poor guy, you know, a new plate of tacos. 3 days later, doesn't my mom go in the kitchen and what's on the counter? The plate with the tacos. And they didn't go like expired or bad, like where the lettuce on top was wilted. No, they were in like perfect condition, as if she just had made them for my brother.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So bizarre, man.
I have a ton of stories. I could keep you guys here all day and night.
I have stories too, but I don't know if I have that many stories. Maybe I don't know. That's pretty intense though.
Yeah.
That would keep you up at night.
Yeah, there were nights where I was like crying. I didn't sleep, honest to God, for like months. It got to the point where, so we're Roman Catholics. My mom had a priest come to the house and bless the house.
You have to.
Because we weren't sure of
You
what
have
the
to.
heck was going on.
Yeah.
It didn't help.
Really?
I'm a firm believer in God, but it did not help. It started getting worse and worse. It got to the point where we ended up putting the house for sale. And that's why we left. That was part of the reason why we left that house. And we found out after that our house was built on like a reserve. You know, those Indian reserves?
Yeah.
And apparently like a bunch of people were killed and died there.
Yeah, the ground could have been cursed.
Yeah, or whatever the heck maybe.
Demonic spirits, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Huh? Well, I totally believe in that.
Yeah,
That
the
stuff is
stories
real.
get worse and worse, but
Yeah.
those were a few stories that like led me and my family to, you know, knowing that there was some like crazy stuff happening in the house.
Yeah.
And
You
it
can-
was bad.
You
It
can
was really bad.
also, it could either be that there, you know, there's something within the family that's allowing evil to come into, or like something could be happening around the area that could be cursed, or there's a lot of evil to that kind of stuff. For sure, I believe in that. I know
Yeah.
you do too.
Oh,
There's
for sure.
evil, in the world, there are evil spirits and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
it happens. And throughout the Bible, it talks about demonic spirits possessing people,
Mm-hmm.
possessing evil, even animals, going in animals too. They could be possessed. So
See,
possessions
that I
happen.
didn't even know, really.
Yeah, cast out demons from people and they took form into the pigs, and the pigs ran off a cliff and they all died.
Oh, wow.
So demons can go into all kinds of life forms. So these things really do happen. So I could tell you from my experience, I could tell you some things, but I'll tell you about some things my dad and my sister dealt with first. So I'll tell you one story. It was when I think it was my sister, my middle sister.
Okay.
Okay. She, when she was a child, she saw a figure in the house. So this was at bedtime. I don't know if she was coming upstairs or she came out of her room for a second.
Right.
And in the corner of the hallway upstairs in the by the bedrooms, in the corner she saw a figure, like the death, how it comes with a cape and a
Oh, yes. Yeah.
she saw that figure in a corner. This is real stuff. My sister, my family don't make stuff like this up either. There's real demonic forces in this world. She saw a figure looking at her. I don't know if it was something that was happening in the family during that time or, but he looked at her and he went like this. Come here.
And how old was she at this?
She was a child. She
Oh,
was like
wow.
maybe 11, 12, something like that.
That's crazy.
And she saw this thing and she burst out in tears and she was freaking out. My dad came out of his room. My mom came out of her room. They both came and she told them what was happening, what she saw. And she was freaking peeking, eh? Just imagine being a child seeing this, just like you probably
Yeah.
too. At your age, it was freaky. Just imagine at a young
younger,
age,
yeah.
right? Seeing this kind of stuff. So my dad, being a believer in Christ and God, he, they all came together and they're praying heavy on her, praying heavy, and that was the last time that ever happened. It immediately went away. And so
That's insane.
yeah, so imagine seeing that kind of stuff at a young age. It's like,
Well, my mom saw the
That's
exact
crazy.
same thing, and my brother too, in their room when
Wow.
they were sleeping.
death.
And my mom
Yeah.
and brother said they woke up. It's funny because they didn't know that each other was seeing it. Like my mom didn't know my brother was seeing it. My brother didn't know my mom
Yeah.
was seeing it in that house.
Yeah.
Until we all talked about everything that was going on. And same thing, like my family's religious, and so my mom said that when she saw it she was awake, like full on awake, and she said that she was scared shitless. So she was facing it, like she was sleeping like this and she was facing it because it was where her door was. So this demonic thing was standing there. She looks at it. She said that she turned away to face my dad, and it flung to the other side. It flew over to the other side, and it was
Just
standing
so
there.
she'd see it again.
Exactly. And she's like, Lisa, I was shitting myself. I was awake. I'm not sleeping at this point. She's like, I'm full on awake. And so she did exactly that. She's like, I started praying there was no tomorrow, saying I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, I'm a firm believer, leave me alone, go
Yeah.
away. And it she said it literally disappeared
Instantaneous.
and never came back
Yeah.
again. And my brother, same thing.
See, that's the thing though, that it says call out on Jesus' name, and they have to leave.
Yeah.
The evil has to leave
Yeah.
at once, because the name of Jesus is very powerful, more
yeah.
powerful than people think. There are demonic forces out there. and
Oh, definitely.
People need to know this, because I know a lot of these people that are listening to us have dealt with some pretty brutal things too.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of stories from other people. There are pretty scary things out there.
Oh, yeah. Worse than probably what we've experienced.
Yeah. Yeah.
You had mentioned to me one story, which I thought was pretty freaky. The one with the Ouija board.
Yes.
The one on the roof or something.
Yeah.
That was insane.
It was the weirdest thing I've ever dealt with as a child. So basically, we made an at-home, homemade Ouija board.
Which is crazy in itself. I've done it too. So
Yeah.
stupid. Please don't do it.
It's
not
honestly
do it.
very, very stupid thing to do.
And very,
because-
very real.
yeah.
And I
Don't-
know people won't believe in it, but it exists.
It exists, because when you try and contact evil, it will come. When you open up yourself to demonic spirits, They will come and they will answer. Just
Yeah.
like God, if you pray to God, he will answer you. Hey, let me tell you, authenticity will bring it in.
Of course.
So we made a homemade Ouija board out of cardboard. He knew how to do it, my buddy Tercio. I don't know if he's following my podcast, but hey Tercio, what's up? What's good, buddy? You know about this. Let me tell you, this is crazy. I'm telling you right now. So we went into, after he was done making it, we went into his garage. And we placed it down, and he told me how to use it, whatever he knew about it. Like, okay, sure, let's do this thing.
Right.
He knew nothing about my past, my family, too much about it at least.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. He's like, ask it a question. I'm like, okay, if this thing's real, then it will know this. And I'm like, which one of my family members just died recently? And I'm like, this is pathetic. This won't work.
Yeah.
Watch. We put our hands. He put one hand on it. I put the other hand on it, and it was spelling out. So her name was Rose.
Okay.
And it went to R. I'm like, okay, like maybe, just maybe, like the first letter R. It's likely to happen that it could go to R.
Yeah.
So R. Our hands went to R, and I'm like, I'm definitely not touching, like, moving this thing. My hands are on it. He don't know nothing about this. O, like, okay. S, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what is happening? And it went to E, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, do you know did I tell you about my freaking, my Tia Rose? And I'm like, I've never told you anything. Did my sister tell you or anything? He's like, no, I had no idea about that. Like, I don't know about your... And I'm like, she just recently died of cancer.
That's insane.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is freaking crazy. Like, this is real stuff.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, boom, 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 I hear running on my roof, on his roof. We were in his garage. And I'm like, oh my God. And we freaked out. We ran towards his door. I'm like, open the door. Open the door. What's freaking happening right now?
Yeah.
And we finally opened the door, ran. And then on our way out, like running up to the street, I look back and there's like a little Asian, I don't know what this meant, but a little like Asian kid running on the roof. I don't know. It still doesn't really.
Who was the Asian kid?
It doesn't really mean anything to me at this point. I don't know what it meant. Maybe there's a significance to an Asian child running on the roof at that time, but I still don't know. But it freaked us out because at that point in time, when it spelt out that thing, boom, 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 running on the roof happened.
Hold up, where did the random Asian come from?
I have no idea. See, I don't know.
And what, he ran across the roof and then disappeared, or what?
And that was it. Yeah, we ran to the street in the front of the houses because our garages were by the laneway in the back. We lived in Toronto, so our garages were on the laneways. But I have no idea if that had any significance to what happened at that time. But it freaked us out, rumbling on the roof. So I was like,
so
oh my gosh. So we
weird.
took that Ouija board and we demolished it. We like got rid of it. And I never, ever used the Ouija board ever again in my life because I knew growing up in a church, knowing God and stuff, this stuff is possible. When you call upon God, good things can happen. When you call upon evil spirits, bad things can happen too.
Oh, yeah.
So...
I definitely believe it. Isn't there was at one point, I think this was like 5 years ago, remember those, it was that piece of paper that people would use with the pen, and the pen would turn
and spin in one spot? I only watched that.
And it would say yes or no or whatever.
I've only watched that in movies. I've never seen it happen in real life.
But it's happened to like real people. Like I've heard stories of like people experiencing it. I've never tried before. I would never try it.
That's almost like a Bloody Mary in the mirror kind of thing. Right?
Have you done that before? I've never done it, and I don't think I ever.
I don't
wanna
remember
do
if
it.
I've actually done it. If it's
what happens, I can't even remember. I remember it was a thing when I was a kid.
Apparently, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. You say it a bunch of times, and she ends up showing up in the mirror.
Who the heck is Bloody Mary?
I don't even remember a lady that died or she was evil or something. I don't remember. These guys probably know the story.
Yeah, if you guys know, tell us.
Let us know in the comments, because we actually still want to know. We have no idea
I
how
don't know.
it went. I forgot. So let us know down in the comments. Yeah, but I forgot. But apparently she would show up in the mirror and you'd turn off the lights, turn them on, and she'd be there.
That is messed up.
Horrific. That's scary. That would haunt you for the rest of the days.
That is so scary.
Yeah, I have another story. I have actually a bunch that my dad has told me. My dad is far from a friggin' liar, by the way. He's very honest. He's very into God, Jesus. He's a good man. They had a person who attended the church. This was back, I think before I was born, maybe, or anyways. There was a man in the church who used to see things in his room. So this is how bad it was. So this man, he told my dad about what he used to see. This guy's nails, he had 0 nails. Like, actually no nails at all.
Like, he would bite them?
Because he would bite them with what he would see.
That's gross.
This man would see people walking through his bedroom walls, coming in his room. This is real, eh?
So they're dead, obviously.
Dead, being maybe demonic spirits coming into his room of some sort of spiritual form, taking possession. Who knows what was going on? They would walk through his walls. His dog, he would know it's coming because his dog would go off and hide or whatever. But this guy...
Because they apparently see stuffed animals.
Yes. They know.
Yeah.
He would see people walk through his walls, and he would sit there and chew his nails to the bone because he was so freaked out. So the people of the church, my dad, some pastors, would come to him, pray amongst him, put hands on him and pray to God to heal him, to heal this man, and bring him to a good light, because what was going on in this man's home was pure and utter evil. And it took a couple of prayers amongst this man to come to Christ, actually, and for those spirits and demons to be gone and from his life.
So it did work.
Prayer did work on this man's life, and thank God that this guy, it happened for him, because that is just terrifying. And
that is
to the point where you're biting your nails to the bone. This is how you know something's not right.
Of course.
Yeah, so
that's
I
crazy.
do believe in this paranormal or evil spirits, demonic spirits entering your life and being able to come in. This is what happens when you don't have, I guess maybe a strong mind, or, the devil's trying to play tricks on your life, and you have to call out the name of God, and in Jesus' name, please leave my life. I believe in God, and these spirits have to flee. It's in the Bible. So these things do happen, and I know you guys have all your stories, and if you do have any stories, comment and leave them down below.
We'd love to hear.
We'd love to hear it, and we comment back. We're gonna let you know what we think of your stories, because we even have more stories, but we're gonna leave it with you today, just as that.
Yeah, exactly. So let us know.
Let us know. Do you have any last words to our viewers?
I don't know. Just be good people.
Pray.
Be good people.
Fast. I have to do some of that too, because I know I'm not always in the right spot. So.
Yeah, and if you're not believers in God and you're kind of questioning, well, then at least just be a good person overall. Maybe meditate.
If you have any
manifest good things.
Yeah, if you have any questions, we're here to help you on your journey. If you want to come to Christ, and if you're having any issues with this kind of stuff, we're here to listen, and we're here to pray for you and help you out too.
Of course.
We're always here for you guys. We just want to let you guys know that too.
Definitely.
Always feel free to message us, DM us, email us. It's all good. Comments, we'll comment back.
Right. We're
always there. Yeah. But as for now, we will leave y'all with that. And,
it's a weird topic today, so we're left kind of startled. But Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us, watching us. Subscribe, comment, like, share with as many people as you can, and we will be back next time. Lisa and Josue on some paranormal stuff. Take it from here, Lisa.
Have a great one, guys.
Take care. Ciao, ciao. Bye. Hi, Mama. Okay, what? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?